Good afternoon, everybody. This is Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Boric, and this is the second video on the day of the long wait of videos. I've been busy with different things, looking for jobs, school, etc., etc. Please go check out my Sports Vote and Always Next Year podcast that I write for, as well as many other fantastic contributors and on-air talent for the podcast at Always Next Year as well. Please check them out. They're great. They're fantastic. Now, today's second video is going to be on the Sixers and their outlook into this season. Yes, we were a beast team last year, but it is very easy to say, and it is the right thing to say, in my opinion, that we are a better team this year and more of a beast of the East team this year. And a lot of that has to do with finally, for a while, there's parity in the NBA, and I'm not just going into this season as someone who, in my younger years, was definitely an overall basketball fan and a Sixers fan. For a while, I must admit, I have not been as much of an overall basketball fan compared to just a Sixers fan, because the league, you could predict the Final Three, Final Four, at least 3 out of the 4 people most likely, because there wasn't much parity. It is fantastic, it is fun, it is lively, it is energetic that we finally have that back this season. So that is big going into next year, not just on the Sixers front, but on the whole NBA front. It's going to be fun to watch the entire league. I would honestly love to play fantasy basketball this year too, because it brings that energy. It's finally fun to watch and get into overall basketball again, and I love it. But I can't get anyone to play in a league, so if anybody has a league, hit me up. But the Sixers this year, of course, you got Ben Simmons, who I don't go off of those videos and everything and say, oh, everything's fixed, everything's immaculate. But it's looking good in the offseason. He's getting his shot down. It's looking good. He's also playing scrimmages against some NBA talent and playing well as well. So I think he's going to come into the season and be a little bit more aggressive, be the best Ben we've seen so far, and really continue his development into being one of the beasts in the NBA. Joel, of course, is already one of the beasts in the NBA. His question is just how much he can play, how much health. But, of course, we solidified that by getting Al Horford, who also was a guy, let's not forget about this, who was pretty good at defending Joel. So now we don't have to face him as well, but we also have him in-house as a fantastic leader going forward, as well as a great center still that's aging gracefully so far, knock on wood. But he's aging very well so far and can play power forward, has grown and got so good at a three-point shot, he can spread the floor as well, just like Joel. And Joel's legs will not be as tired, being able to put in a great guy like Al Horford to substitute for him. And then, of course, you picked up Kyle O'Quinn on a cheap league minimum, I believe it was, contract, who can grab you boards as well. So he's a pretty good and a solid defender as well that you can put in for some minimum minutes. So this team is looking very good going forward, with coming back with Tobias Harris, who you were able to keep. And then I think not being able to keep Jimmy Butler, what Elton Brand did was fantastic. Josh Richardson, if you look at some of the stats of people that are into metrics, into the analytics, I'm 50-50 with those, but just overall stats, they were pretty comparison, especially the second half, for how those guys balled out last year. And Jay Rich is quickly making himself into one of the better two-way players in the NBA. He's very fun to watch. He's a very good, passionate player and a big-time player in the city. I watched some highlight videos of him on YouTube, etc. Once we got him, he's a very into-it type of player, high-intensity player. He's going to fit in directly with the city and be a great player for the city for many years to come, in my opinion. And that was a fantastic trade to have. Jimmy's going to get booed just like he should the hell when he comes back. And that was the best-case scenario, but not even a best-case scenario, a great scenario for the Sixers, being able to get Josh Richardson, still have Tobias Harris, got Ben Simmons starting, you got Joel Embiid, you got Al Horford. That's a sick starting lineup, and it's going to be a great defensive starting lineup, even far better than last year, because Tobias is a pretty solid defender. Jay Rich just got done saying he's one of the better two-way players in the league. Ben is obviously good at defense. So is Joel. So is Al Horford. You don't really have a defensive slouch in that lineup like you did with JJ. Now, I know we got to, we got to make up for the scoring with JJ, but guess what? We're going to do it. You got Josh Richardson, who can put the ball in the bucket, You got Tobias Harris, who can score, who I think is going to have one of his best seasons this year, as well as Josh Richardson. And then you got Al Horford, you got Joel down low that are going to play fantastic defense. Al, when he subs in, you're going to have other guys filling a power forward, probably Tobias slide down there. It's just very good matchup and versatility. And I haven't even got to the bench to close out the video. The bench, you got Zaire coming into his first full season, a great defensive player in himself, who in the Summer League showed he can shoot it a little bit. They got a lot of faith in Shake Milton. I think eventually he should be able to shoot it a little bit in the NBA. But he didn't show a lot in the Summer League. He showed good playmaking ability, in my opinion, and I think he's going to fit in well with this team. But he needs a little bit more seasoning for sure. We kept Furkan. That was an interesting move, but we'll see what he's able to do. I like his ability to shoot. He just hasn't been able to show it in the NBA, but when you look at highlight videos of him too, you see it. But again, I don't go by just videos. You got to show me the shit in the NBA. So once Furkan can get going, then that would be big too if he can. But you brought back Ennis the Menace. That was big for your bench. Trey Burke is not any flashy name, but he's still a veteran. He's a solid guy that can give you at least 10 to 15 minutes. So you definitely added depth, which was a problem for this team last year, in Trey Burke. You brought in Raul Neto, too, who's also a solid playmaker, can sometimes, can sometimes also hit the threes for you as well. So I like the overall complexion of this team, and I really like us going into next year. You brought back Mike Scott with the Beehive. Of course, you got into the fight with the Eagles fan, but we'll forget about that. I mean, Thybulle's good at defense. He's going to fit in very well. I think Shayok's a very under-the-radar pick. They added depth. They brought in the great players in Horford and Richardson. This is going to be a great team. I mean, there is no question in my mind that the Sixers are going to the Eastern Conference Final and could very well go all the way to the championship. This is going to be a very fun year that we are in store for, and I can't freaking wait. Let's go Sixers. Have a fantastic evening, everybody. Peace out.